For the past few years, I've been out in the woods up to 6 days a week, up to 2 hours, maybe 2.5 hours a day for the past 4 years. I was out photographing mushrooms of Alaska. So I crawled all over those forest floors, my dogs and myself. As the season ended this year, I got kind of sad, I was exhausted in previous seasons. And at the end of 2022, I was exhausted. But I was also 50 pounds heavier, and it hurt getting up and down off that forest floor. Fast forward to the 2024 season ending, and I got kind of sad when it was over. I fell in love with them. I like to see them grow, and therefore I had to get out there after work the next day as soon as I could, come home, get the dogs, and run for the forest to see how much growth that mushroom had overnight in 24 hours. Because some mushrooms will come up and they'll die. There'll be a little puddle of black ooze tomorrow. And other ones I've got sitting on the shelf right now, they're like little hard wooden exoskeletons left behind. You can use them for decor. Anyway, my point, I began to research October 15th. I began to research how to grow mushrooms indoors so that I could photograph them. I thought mushroom growing kit, whatever, but I got farther into it the more I looked into it. I started finding a bunch of other ways to grow mushrooms. So that's what this video is about. I want to show you what I've done over the past about 10 weeks, 12 weeks now. So I've learned how to grow them, but I have a mutant here today, and I'd like to show you that. So stay tuned to the end so that I can show you my crazy but blue oyster mushroom, which I have nicknamed horsewanker. My plan is to ultimately learn how to grow them enough so that this coming season I can grab some wild Alaskan spores or mushrooms, bring them inside. Of course, I gotta make sure they're not poisonous. Don't want to kill myself. Anyway, I might be able to clone them. And then that brings in another question. Do I need to buy an air chiller because they're outdoor Alaskan strains? So let's start off first with my failure. This is a pink oyster mushroom. It looked like a bouquet of freaking roses when it first started popping off on the 29th. Look at them. They're dying. They're not pink anymore. But these ones, they look okay, right? I've plucked they were all the way around it like a ring of fire. This is my failure. I don't know. Anyway, that's that one. Now I'm going to show you this is a wood-loving mushroom all-in-one grow bag. It's got rye grain, it's got a layer of straw, and then it's got wood substrate like sawdust, probably got some bran flakes in it. On 11/19, I inoculated it. This is lion's mane, but I used blue oyster mushroom. And stick around, I'm going to show you that at the end. This beautiful heap of sawdust is actually shiitake mushrooms. It was all white. It's kind of like that puffy stuff that you see on their t-shirts and stuff, sweaters and stuff. That's what it feels like. But it turned like a leather brown, and now, just yesterday, or this morning, they came up. There's another one there. And another one here. And they're just coming up, so I imagine soon they'll be everywhere. That's my shiitake. One thing about these are that the shi is actually the tree, and the take is the type of the mushroom. The shi tree is somewhat like the United States oak tree. So a long time ago, the Japanese would grab these other pieces of trees, these shi trees, these broken limbs, or they would cut them down, and they would bring them over close to the tree that had the take mushrooms growing on them, and they would lay them against the tree and around the tree so that they would get inoculated with the stuff from that tree. And that's how they would produce their own shiitake mushrooms, hence the word shiitake. Shi is the tree, take is the type of mushroom. Makes me wonder, is there a mai tree? Because there's a maitake. Now these two bad boys are over here. Let's break into it. Let's get talking about that blue oyster mushroom. So I told you that I inoculated this bag with one of these blue oyster mushrooms. And 5 weeks later, this is what that bag looked like. Well, it's finally started to produce some mushrooms, and here they are. They are blue oyster mushrooms. They look beautiful. What do you think? Look at that. Awesome, right? Just freaking awesome. Let me show you the other bag. They smell like seafood. Something about oysters. Do they all smell like this? Because the pink ones do too. Now's the moment ye has been waiting for, where I have. This is the other one. Does this look anything like that one? Horse wanker, blue oyster mushrooms. Horse wanker, blue oyster mushrooms. What in the heck happened here? What is this? What is this? I mean, it kind of looks like, look, it looks like my hand. This thing was just a wee little lad over here in the corner, right? And it just sprung into this big nub here. It looks nothing like a blue oyster. It came in the same syringe. I inoculated 2 bags. These just started to come out. All right. And another flush of them over here. Look at that. Probably see it better in the lighting this way, huh? Check it out. Isn't that crazy? I don't know what to think. It kind of has little ridges, and it looks like it was trying to be a blue oyster, but I don't know what it's going to turn into. But it's an interesting side project here for me to like film it and document it, because I've never seen, I don't even find anything when I look it up online. So if any of you know what this is, what's going on, I mean, it's doing it on the surface too. I'd be more than happy to get a comment from you telling me what it is that I've got going on here and why this is not looking like the other blue oyster mushroom. Have you ever seen anything like this before?